Welcome back, 3D students. In this video we're going to create this sword here, and this is going to be our first sub-object or subdivision modeling project. If I turn on edged faces here, you can see the structure of the sword. We started with this one box here in the center, right here, and we extruded all the other parts of the sword from it. And we did that by adding an edit poly modifier. If I turn off the modifier, you'll see that it just goes back to its box form. And of course, if I were to delete this modifier, it would just go back to being a box. But that's what we did, and we did that by accessing the components that make up all the geometry in 3D Max. Those components are vertices, edges, borders, polygons, and elements. A polygon, if I turn on polygon mode here, is a face. An element could be another piece of geometry attached to another piece of geometry. It's a little complicated. We'll talk about that later. A border is the area around a void. So, for example, if I delete this polygon here and go to border mode and click right there, I'll select around that border. An edge is an edge, and a vertex is where two edges cross. You can see these little points here. They're hard to see because of the color of my sword. Let me change the color here. And you can see these little dots right here. Now these components can be moved to change the shape of the object. They can be rotated, they can be scaled to change the shape of what the object is. They can also have other processes applied to them, like inset right here, and extrude, and bevel. And we'll talk about those as we're making the sword. So the idea here is that everybody makes the same sword, the same base sword, and then we can modify different pieces of the sword to get a different look like this. And this is what the base sword is based on right here. So in coming videos, we'll talk about how to modify the blade, how to modify the crossguard here, how to modify the grip and the pommel, which is this piece at the end, and maybe how to add something here to the hilt. By the way, the hilt is the crossguard, the grip, and the pommel all together. That unit is the hilt as opposed to the blade. And we'll talk about how to add things to the hilt to make it look more interesting, like these jewels and stuff like that. This groove down the center of the blade is something called the fuller. Some people call it the blood groove. It has nothing to do with blood. What it's supposed to do is take weight off of the blade and also allow it to be more flexible so it won't break. In the next video, we will create a box, add an edit poly modifier to it, and make the base sword. And I'll see you then.